Dramatic new developments here in Syria. We're joined here by Hussain Abdul Hussain from the Foundation for the Defence of Democracies. Thank you very much for joining us on BBC News. It's interesting that there's been such a broad welcome from all countries across the region about these developments in Damascus. But what kind of a mood do you sense in the region?
It's really natural for anyone and everyone to express joy that 50 years of such a brutal tyranny is over. But I also think that sooner or later the euphoria will wear off. And what we will be left with is the anxiety of the day after. So I think while everyone is happy, at the same time, everyone is apprehensive and trying to get this one right, given all the experiments that we have had since the toppling of the Saddam regime in 2003 and the change that the Arab Spring brought. So everyone is now tiptoeing around this change. Everyone is waiting and trying to figure out how to get this one right, unlike the previous ones.
I think the United States and Arab neighbours are trying to coordinate their messaging. We know there's going to be a meeting in Jordan, but the first to visit Damascus was the Turkish intelligence chief. Turkey, as you know, has close ties with the dominant Islamist group, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Are you hopeful that they will be able to coordinate their messages, urging them to be more inclusive, to bring in other members of civil society, other rebel groups into the governance here?
If there's ever a regional and international consensus over what should happen in Syria, I think that'll benefit Syria and the Syrians a lot. But it is unfortunate that the regional parties do not see eye to eye. If each one of them start pushing their own direction, for example, if the Turks decide to go after the Kurds of Syria and the northeast, that'll be problematic, and that'll cause the Kurds to step back, not join Damascus, the new government in Damascus, and probably keep their arms to defend themselves. So this is only one wrinkle. I can think of many others. And if these wrinkles are not taken care of at the level of foreign ministers of the region, I think the road will be a bit bumpy moving forward for the Syrians trying to figure it out inside of Damascus.
As you know, one of the big obstacles is that this is probably one of the most sanctioned countries in the world. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham is on the terrorism blacklist. There's a bounty on Abu Muhammad al-Jalani's head. You're in the United States. As you know, sometimes it's really hard to lift these sanctions. What is your sense? Can ways be found to open up these new pathways?
The statements that we heard from President Biden were encouraging, and from the administration at large, what they've been saying is that we will not judge Mr. Shara, formerly known as Jalani, on his past deeds. We are looking forward. We will judge him on what he does next. So this, to me, sounds like turning of a new page. If Mr. Shara behaves like a statesman and builds an inclusive government for everyone, not only his own faction, his own Islamist faction, I think then Washington will be ready to play ball. But until that happens, I wouldn't say that the United States will be rushing to remove these sanctions, these crippling sanctions that used to exist on the Assad regime.
Thank you very much for joining us with your reflections about this momentous moment here in Syria, watched so closely by so many around the world.